Welcome to the Apple Bowl and the 2015 Cullen Cup. Ryan Waters and Jason Casey alongside, high atop the Apple Bowl, getting set for this one. And both you and I are fired up after seeing the players come out on the field, and they don't like each other already. And this is the opening kickoff.
No, it's great to see that rivalry between two teams when you can feel that animosity between each other, and they just want to get kickoff going. They're done with the pregame stuff. Let's get rocking and rolling.
Speaking of kickoff, keys to the game. You've got some interesting keys both sides.
Yeah, for the Raiders, I think offensively they need to stay out of second and long. If they get stuck in second and long, the defense, the Okanagan Sun, are just going to keep pinning their ears back and putting pressure on O'Brien and Vertanen in the backfield. So they need to see, be it pass or run, they need to get that 4 to 6 yards every single time on first down to get that consistency of being able to move the chains against such a fast and effective defense. Defensively, limit big plays. The Okanagan Sun are going to get their yards. They're too talented not to. So they need to limit those big plays, be disciplined in the defensive backfield, and possibly force the Okanagan Sun to run the ball more and allow them to maybe only average, hopefully, 6 to 8 yards per play. The Okanagan Sun, I think they need to establish the run effectively and early on the offense and be disciplined in staying with it. Moving forward from them, if they get out of this game, they're going to need, well, anybody who gets out of this game is going to need a run game going into the Prairies. Yeah. You can't go to the Prairies and not have a run game. So I think the Sun need to establish that and be effective with it. And defensively, use their team speed. They need to wreak havoc in this game like they've done all season long. It's usually, as I said in the pregame, it's usually one guy that is that effective and fast. But when you have that many on the Okanagan Sun, the VI Raiders are going to have a tough time blocking and stopping that many speedy guys coming after them. So look for the Sun to use their speed to their advantage.
You look at the front four for the Sun, even the front five, and then you throw a Lane Hall in, who's always creeping up as a linebacker. Now, last game he played as defensive back, believe it or not, but he's going to go back to his regular linebacker position, I would imagine. And the blitz packages that Mike Botterill has developed here, and with the help of head coach Shane Beatty, has really been so dominant of this defense. And you mentioned teams trying to run the football against the Sun. They just haven't been able to do it.
No, and it's their speed and their discipline as well. They swarm to the ball so effectively as a team. Often you see multiple guys in on a tackle. We're talking 4, 5, 6 guys on every single tackle for the Okanagan Sun, and that goes to the point of the Raiders staying out of second and long. If there's second and long, you're going to see Coach Botterill bring the heat all the time. Why not? Put pressure on O'Brien, make him make a mistake, maybe Vertanen get caught in the backfield, then it's third and long and they're punting. The VI Raiders cannot consistently play 60 minutes with that being their situation.
87 yards on the ground. VI Raiders against the Okanagan Sun defense in 2 games, which is incredible. You're a former defensive coordinator on this team. Wouldn't you like to have this unit?
Oh, for sure. To have that much team speed. Now, the Okanagan Sun have always been very well coached and they're great recruiters. They've always had talent, but to have that many guys on a football field out of the 12 starting defensive players to be that quick and that effective and that disciplined, that's every DC's dream, any coach's dream, regardless of what side of the ball.
Yeah. Sun are going to start with the football, looks like. The Raiders will get it in the second half, so the Raiders will kick it away, and we'll see the Sun offense. 488 points during the regular season. They platoon quarterbacks Cam Bedore and Josiah Joseph through the regular season. Last week, it was all Cam Bedore. We saw a little bit of Josiah in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, it was Bedore that led this team to this Cullen Cup Championship game. Again, the first time since 2004. Well, at least they haven't won since 2004. And Shai Ross, who's a new dad, and also Corey Nagata. It's nice to see Nagata back deep as Bueno will kick it away, and we are underway this 2015 Cullen Cup. And Shai Ross at his own 12-yard line. Here he comes. Ross gets to the 25, has some room, still nobody around him. Gets to the corner of the 40, tries to make a move, and he does. To the 50, slips down, and he'll be pushed out of bounds right around midfield. And we want to introduce the third member of our broadcast team. It is Sarah Wright. Sarah, what do you have down there?
Thanks, gentlemen. Both coaches are in extremely high spirits today going into the Cullen Cup. And who wouldn't be? It's a beautiful day. The grass is perfect, and it's an almost packed house here at the Apple Bowl. Now, both teams have had plenty of time to get acquainted and come together as a team this year. You have the ferry ride for the Raiders.
Sadly, we have
and a
some
team
audio
luncheon
issues
for the Okanagan Sun yesterday. Now, Coach Beatty says that their team feels confident, not coffee, but they have the perfect amount of swag going into a championship game. On the other side, you have the underdog, the Raiders. Feel no pressure, like they have nothing to lose. But remember, everyone, you can never count out the underdog. Jason, Ryan?
Yards, and well, you want to keep it on the ground. They certainly did.
Yeah, and that's a great option for the Okanagan Sun to have as well. The front seven for the VI Raiders probably looking to stop that run game through their fullback and the tailback. When you have a quarterback that's powerful and sees the field that well as a run, it's a great threat to have.
And Bedore certainly doesn't get shy of getting the contact as well. Likes to take on a defensive line.
Yeah, you don't see him slide very often.
No, not at all. 1st and 10 from the Raider 45. Bedore back to pass for the first time over the middle. Has a man. It's incomplete. Looked like knocked away by Dexter Shea, a good linebacker for the Raiders, BCFC All-Star. But Bedore's first pass goes incomplete.
Yeah, and it looks like the VI Raiders dropping it back into zone there. So the receivers need to recognize that and find those pockets instead of running through. And that allows the linebackers there. Cam Bedore got lucky with not throwing an interception. That was great zone defense by the VI Raiders.
Bedore during the regular season, 85 of 127 for 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns compared to just 3 interceptions. He's 24-40 against the Raiders. Another shotgun, 2nd and 10. Here come the Raiders as Bedore will take off. Bedore gets to the 40, has the first down as he gets past the 35, and he's brought down there just past the 35. But Bedore again with his feet, using his abilities to make a good selection and take off.
Yeah, and that's where I think the defensive lineman and possibly the middle linebacker need to step up for the VI Raiders. We're talking about giving up big plays, and the receiving core, they had 5 spread receivers there. The coverage was there to force the quarterback to scramble, but now you've got to make a play to stop him from getting that first down.
So 1st and 10. Inside the Raider 35, they'll mark it at the 33 after the 12-yard pickup by Bedore, who's going to go back to pass again. Bedore, crossing pattern, has his man. That is Kalmoto, who slips down and falls down. Thomas Huber. And Huber will pick up decent yardage. Looks like about 7, maybe 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and short for the Sun offense.
Yeah, and Huber is certainly looking to get the first down there. He's looking to make a move on the defensive coverage there and just lost his footing, unfortunately.
Pickup of 7, make it 8 on the play. Bedore's first completion. Thomas Huber, by the way, the all-star kicker in his 22-year-old season. Bedore will give it to Nagata. He'll go up the middle. Corey with some room to run. Gets to the 15, makes a move to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Corey Nagata!
And that's 2 things that the VI Raiders don't want. They're allowing them to establish the run to get their front 7, and then that's a big play.
A 25-yard touchdown run for Nagata, who gets into the end zone after making a couple of nifty moves. And right away, the Okanagan Sun jump in front 6-0 with the point after still to come.
Yeah, and the VI Raiders, their defense, they're probably going to see the field a lot this game. What they need to do is they got to keep this game close. They need to keep it as close as possible, get their offense opportunities to possibly put up 3, maybe even 7 as the game goes on.
Extra point is up and good. You can see Nagata made a move right. He hit the hole very, very quickly. That offensive line, who has 2 BCFC All-Stars on it, able to open up a mammoth hole. Nagata, who's very small in stature, able to get through, made a move in the secondary, and then nothing but green in front of him.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse being a free safety coming up on a run play like that when you have to make the tackle, because you know there's no help. Your last resort, and Nagata made a miss, and that's the result, is a touchdown. That'll happen every time. Every free safety's worst nightmare.
A 58-yard drive orchestrated by Bedore, who used his feet for a lot of that drive. The 1 pass completion to Thomas Huber, and then the Sun get into the end zone and lead it 7-0. 2 guys back deep for the VI Raiders are using some different jersey numbers here today. At least the quarterback is. We'll talk about him in just a second. Tristan Murr is back deep. He does have a kickoff return for a touchdown this season. And Nigel Henry as well, who usually wears number 20, going with number 2 here. This one in the direction of Murr. He'll get it at about his 7-yard line. Here he comes. Murr gets to the 20. Now the 25 with some good speed. Murr to the 40, the 30, and he'll be knocked backwards there. Keith Zyla and Cord DeLint, who's having a fantastic season in on the stop. Casey Russell as well. And we'll see this VI Raider offense for the first time. Liam O'Brien, last year's All-Canadian quarterback, 128 completions, 204 attempts, 2,089 yards in the regular season, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, no touchdowns against the Sun. He threw 3 picks this season, 24-44 against the Sun defense for 208 yards. So the native out of Parksville, wearing number 19 in this one, will start in a shotgun. He does have Lobo and also Flavel behind him. Quick drop. He hits Rodriguez in the slant. Rodriguez will be brought down after a short gain. A 1-arm tackle by Lane Hall, but that's what they want to do, get the ball out of O'Brien's hands very quickly. Yeah, and that was a quick slant, possibly timing pattern from the Raiders there, and that might be something they want to establish to eliminate the pass rush and the speed of the Okanagan Sun. The unfortunate aspect of that is that a speedy defensive secondary could read those timing routes and possibly jump it for a pick. Gain of 7 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 3 from their own 37. We talked about in the keys of the game those short second down conversion attempts, and there's a pass incomplete, went off the hands of Fabro, falls incomplete. Connor Novak will give him a word or two of encouragement, no doubt. If it falls incomplete, it'll be third down.
And if this is going to be a consistent game plan for the Raiders, the defensive front four, possibly five if they got a blitzing linebacker or halfback, you got to get your hands up in those passing lanes. If you're not going to get the pressure on the quarterback, you got to disrupt him, possibly make him pull it down and scramble, or just throw it in your mitts and knock it down.
A quick 2 and out for the Raiders, so Rodriguez will go back to kick. And Cole Bridges, the 22-year-old with the longest hair on the team, will go back to receive this kick, standing around his own 31-yard line. Rodriguez will angle it towards the sideline. Good high spiral kick by Rodriguez. Picked up by Bridges at about his 23. Bridges goes up the middle, be brought down as he gets to the 40. And the Okanagan Sun offense will come back out onto the field. Just a perfect day for football. Isn't it a little nip in the air, but it certainly is a good day for football. Did you like playing in the colder weather?
I loved playing in the fall. Yeah, and the great thing about playing in the fall is as it gets colder, you want that feeling because it means you're still playing. I mean, you're not sitting in the stands or sitting at home. You want to be cold while you're still playing and coaching.
Excellent point. 42-yard line is where the Sun will start their second possession. 7-0 Sun after the 25-yard scamper by Nagata into the end zone on the opening drive. 1st and 10. Bador back to pass, going to hit Nagata out of the backfield. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, now the 45 to the 50, and he'll be brought down. Dexter Shea on the stop, but another positive gain for Nagata, picked up 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
The tough thing for the Raider defense now is that they weren't on the sidelines for very long. The offense wasn't on there long enough. You need your offense. You got to work together as a team in a situation like that. You need your offense to drive the ball, not only to give your defense a rest, but also to make adjustments. If you're seeing something different or something's not quite working right, you got to say, okay, we're going to put this on the back burner, and here's what we're going to do next time, you know, an offense comes out in this formation, or they want to run this play at you. So it's going to be tough for the Raiders defense if this is going to be the, I guess, the norm for the afternoon.
Yeah, well, it's only been one possession for the Raiders offense, so they're going to bring out the chain gang, and it looks like they got the first down by just the nose of the football. Oh, it'll be short in inches. My apologies. Short, I guess, by just the nose of the football. So it'll be 2nd and inches. Badori takes the snap, falls forward. He'll have the first down. Or as a former coach in this situation, do you take a shot? Do you take a shot down the field?
I would have midfield. Yeah, why not? Yeah. I mean, if you can't get a first down on 2nd and inches when you've already got that yard daylight between you and the D line, yeah, why not? At this point of the game, I would.
So 2nd and inches, Bador in a shotgun. So if they were going to fall forward, he would go up into the center. Here he goes now. And he'll climb up under the big center of the Okanagan Sun with Nagata in the backfield. 2nd and inches, Bador will fall forward. Should have enough for a first down. And Robinson, the first guy to say, yeah, oh yeah, that's a first down. And the referee will agree with Robinson, and the Sun will get a fresh set of downs. With Bador, do you give him a yard, or you can just get an inch? Cam, he's 2 of 3 in the passing game so far. With 10 minutes to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Okanagan Sun on the strength of the 25-yard run by Corey Nagata. Good drive that started on their own 52, ended up in the end zone. Single back set with Nagata back there. Bador up into the center, short drop, looking to pass. He's looking for Kawamoto, throws it wide of him, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, the Raiders, Novak picked him up out of the backfield nicely. So they're recognizing what's happening in front of them and taking away the big plays that we were talking about earlier. Their free safety, he is sitting back at about 22 yards right now to make sure that they're not giving up any probably deep seam or deep post.
That's for 10, and the rookie of the year in the BCFC. And yeah, as Jason said, he's about 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, or pardon me, 2nd and 10. Bador down the middle. It's Pacho. He makes the reception, bumps off with a couple of tacklers, and he brought down at the 30-yard line. Nigel on the stop, but boy, oh boy, we just talked about it. The free safety back deep, but he couldn't make a play.
And that was a great read by Bador, great pattern by Pacho, but Vertan, and it probably shows his inexperience. He had a fantastic opportunity to make a pick or a devastating hit on a quality receiver over the middle like that, and just unfortunately couldn't follow through on it.
Pacho 11 catches last week against the Broncos, gets his first one here. Bador in business, 1st and 10 from the 30. They get to Nagata. Nagata to the 25, bounces up a couple of tacklers, still fighting for yards, and he'll be gain tackled after a pick of 8, maybe 9 yards. But good to see Kyle Pacho get involved early in this one. Pacho's been so good this season in his 5th and final year out of KSS. But Nagata there, a youngster still, only in his 2nd year, picks up 8 on the play to be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and again, he keeps his feet moving after that first contact. He doesn't stop. He'll keep trying to pound away down the field. You want a running back that enjoys running north-south like that.
So 2nd and 2 from the Raider 22. They got again in the backfield, all sorts of motion. Bedore back to pass, has a man, but it's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Good play there by the Raiders to get their big mitts up there and knock it down.
Looks like, I think, 45 Matt Hill. Yep. I think that got the mitts up, and that's what you want to see. If you can get pressure to the quarterback, obstruct his vision and his passing lane.
So a 3rd and 2. And Bedore is going to come off the field. It'll be a Thomas Huber field goal attempt, who was 15-20 during the regular season. Again, the BCFC All-Star kicker. And it'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Huber around the middle of the field. Patchell will be the holder. With a 7-0 lead, the Sun looking to add to that. Huber taking a deep breath. The snap was good. The hold is good. The kick is up plenty long enough, but it's wide left. It goes out the back of the end zone. So Huber shanks it left. And the score will be 8-0 now after the single point that goes through the back of the end zone.
And that's a great moral victory for the Raiders defense. Their offense now is going to get I guess, a good enough offensive start position-wise on the 35-yard line, and hopefully they can win the field back. If not, get a sustained drive to put some points on the board, at least get the field back, put their defense in a position where they can actually start playing the game instead of reacting.
Yeah, I agree with the moral victory, absolutely. Yeah. As the Sun was starting to move the football, and the defense did hold, and the Raiders will get it at their own 35-yard line. Here comes Liam O'Brien and company again. O'Brien's got Lobo and Flavel in the backfield. O'Brien in a shotgun. Takes the snap, gives to Flavel, go right up the middle in the teeth of the Okanagan Sun defense. He gets to the 40, pick up a 5, maybe 6, depending on the spot. And McCoy in on the stop for the Sun. Nothing fancy about that play, just to dive right up the middle. 5-yard carry. It'll be 2nd and 5.
This is great. 2nd and mid-range. They can open up a lot more in their playbook, and if they're doing those quick hit passing patterns, this should be a first down if they're going to do a quick hitter.
Rodriguez, a slot back on the right side. He's the most dangerous threat for the Raiders passing game. With, once again, O'Brien in his shotgun. Back to pass, makes the pass. It is completed. Cord DeLint in on the coverage. Pass completed to Duick. It'll be awfully close to a first down.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the receiver left his feet when you don't need to. A lot of receivers will do that. I mean, it was a healthy spot that they received there, but if you fall short on that first down, if you don't need to leave your feet, don't. Catch that ball and start driving backwards to gain that 6 yards instead of 4.5, 4 3/4, and leave it short.
I can see what you mean. We had the advantage of the instant replay here up in the broadcast booth. Doesn't help our radio listeners, but on the pay-per-view broadcast, and this game is being televised on Shaw, at least live to tape. The Shaw TV here locally will play the game once again on Monday or Tuesday. There's a quick hit to Rodriguez, who made the reception. Isaiah Stewart saying no, he didn't make the catch. And now the back judge comes and says incomplete indeed, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and that's on O'Brien, the quarterback there. He had a low snap, so he has to rush his getting it off, but unfortunately he's throwing too high. When you're going quick hitters on the inside between the hash marks like that, there's a lot of defensive bodies in there, and if you start throwing the ball high, you're just asking for your receivers to get their heads taken off.
2nd and 10 from their own 45. 8-0 Sun with the lead. 6:20 to go in the opening quarter. O'Brien again in a shotgun. Doesn't really take a drop back at all, except for this time. Here comes the blitz. Keegan Hughes around the corner, and O'Brien will throw this one away. A penalty flag comes in at the end, but McCoy was chasing him. Hughes came in on the blitz around the corner of the right side. We'll see what the call is from the official. It can't be roughing the passer, could it?
No, I would think maybe if there's going to be a hold, or unless O'Brien was grabbing the face mask of the defender to try and keep him off him, but... Wow.
Yeah. It's against McCoy. I don't know about that call. Shane Beatty standing with his arms crossed on the sideline. He let go of the football as he was being brought down. I don't think you can call that a...
No, you teach your defensive players to do that. You get someone in the grasp like that, you're going to take them to the ground.
So 1st and 10 now. Raiders all the way inside the Sun territory at the Sun 50-yard line. The Raiders were back so far huddling up, they have to sprint up to the line of scrimmage. O'Brien standing right at midfield. 5 yards behind the center. Takes the snap, back to pass. Here comes Gearing. He steps up, does O'Brien. O'Brien will be brought down. Lane Hall brings him down after pickup of a yard up by O'Brien. Did a nice job, saw the pressure, stepped up, got a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and I think O'Brien's a pretty big-bodied guy. I would expect him to get more yards than that. If you get a quarterback like that that could possibly run over a defensive player, there's nothing more demoralizing from a defensive player to get run over by a quarterback.
Well, the first time these two met in Nanaimo, the Sun did pick up 10 sacks, but Beattie was telling me that, boy, they could have had 17, but because of O'Brien's thick body, we weren't able to bring him down. So 2nd and 9 from the 49 of the Sun. O'Brien back to pass again. O'Brien will get the ball off. Has Rodriguez wide open in the middle. Rodriguez will be brought down at the 35, but it's a first down with Lane Hall in on the stop. But O'Brien got himself wide open, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Yeah, and I think that was good patience by O'Brien. He stayed in the pocket. They picked up, they had a stunt coming over the middle there, the Okanagan Sun. I didn't see if it was between the tackles or the linebacker as well, but he stayed in the pocket. They picked up the pressure, and he found the open receiver, and that's fantastic what you want to see your quarterback. Instead of scrambling outside where you can get chased down, let your hogs protect you, find that open receiver.
Gain of 13 on the pass completion to Rodriguez, so 1st and 10 from the Sun 36. O'Brien in a shotgun again. Back to pass, has some time. Now it breaks down, he'll take off. O'Brien gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll be brought down there. Good pursuit by Keegan Hughes. Lane Hall also in on the stop, but it was Hughes that brought him down. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and I think O'Brien's a little tentative to run, and that's not anything against him. I think he's looking to get the ball in his receiver's hands or possibly a running back, and those are the guys that you want running with the ball, not your quarterback. You don't want him taking as many hits as possible. So you can see as he's scrambling, he's still trying to get rid of that ball until he absolutely has to commit to running with it.
Picked up 2 on the rush, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 34, the left hash. With 4 minutes to go opening quarter, 8-0, Sun with the lead. O'Brien again in the shotgun. Flavel behind him, Lobo beside him. Low snap, O'Brien handles it over the middle. It is incomplete, looking for a Rodriguez. He would have been well short of the first down had the pass been completed. But it'll be 3rd and 8, and we'll see what the Raiders elect to do from the Sun 34-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing the Raiders spreading the defense for the Okanagan Sun out. They're very tight. You're almost seeing hash mark to hash mark in their formations, maybe a little bit wider on the wide side of the field. And so far, all their quick passes are coming to the middle of the field. I don't know if they're setting something up. I'd like to see them start attacking quick outs, 3-5 yard outs, throw it out and let your receiver run with the ball to get to the sidelines and maybe get 12-15 yards.
Raiders are going to kick. Rodriguez will run right and kick it away. Corey Nagata has to run a long way to get this one. He'll collect it 3 yards in his own end zone. He'll bring it out. Nagata to the 10, has some room. Nagata to the 20, the 25. Nagata's going to make a move, and he's brought down just as he gets to the 35-yard line. But Bryce Wallace, I think, saved a touchdown as Nagata got out very, very quickly, picked up some good blocks, and almost sprung it.
Yeah, Wallace certainly saved a touchdown on that play. And again, a little unfortunate for the Raiders. They had an opportunity to gain that field position back. And although it's not horrible, they're starting at the 35, 36-yard line, but they almost could have pinned them inside their 20.
It was Tyler Hill, pardon me, with the stop, because again, we had the advantage of the instant replay up here in the booth. But boy, Nagata almost brought it back to the house. 1st and 10, Bedore in a shotgun. Tons of time. Bedore now will take off. A flag flies. Bedore shakes a tackle and picks up 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. However, there's a penalty flag.
Yeah, he had all day in the backfield there, but oftentimes when you're taking that long to throw the ball and then you decide to scramble and defender tries to get to you, that's more than likely holding.
We'll see what the call is from the official. Yeah, Jason's right. It's Jeremy Williams whistled for the hold. By the way, this is Championship Sunday. Not only the final in BC happening, but the final in the Prairies as well, as there is an injured Raider on the play against the far sideline, who is essentially away from the play. Looks like number 18 for the Raiders, that is Alex Emberling, who is injured as the training staff do attend to him. But the Prairie Football Conference final is happening as well. Saskatoon Hilltops are hosting the Calgary Colts. The winner of that game will host the 2015 Canadian Bowl in 2 weeks' time on November 7th. And at halftime, the Hilltops lead the Colts 17-8. Now, if you're a Raiders fan, wouldn't it be cool if it was the Raiders and the Calgary Colts in the Canadian Bowl with
because of Coach Snoop?
Exactly, a guy that you coached against.
Yes,
and it was a pain in your rear end, I would imagine, on a couple of times.
Yeah, well, they had that, I guess, some running back, I think, that's still doing quite well for himself, Andrew Harris. Yeah,
yeah. We just passed the century mark in CFL games, celebrating his 100th game
Wow, already?
Yeah, I was surprised to see that as well. We're Facebook friends, you know.
Oh, well.
Emerling is coming off the field gingerly, but under his own power, and he will get to the sideline. It'll be a 1st and 20 for the Sun from their own 25-yard line after the holding call. Looks like a groin injury is clearly holding the area of the groin as he comes off the field. So 1st and 20. Bedore in a shotgun. He's got Nagata beside him. Going in motion is Huber. Bedore takes the snap, looks for the crossing pattern. Lerone Robinson wide open, gets to the 35. Robinson trying to shake a tackle, but good pursuit there by Paisley, able to bring him down. Robinson found himself wide open, couldn't quite sprint past Paisley, who made a tackle, but they gained some yards back. They picked up 10.
Yeah, and that short pass had a lot of daylight around it. You could see the Raiders are very respectful of the deep ball. They want to see everything happening in front of them, which you can't fault them for because there's so much talent on the Okanagan Sun receiving corps. So they're going to want to keep everything in front of them and swarm downhill.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, the 35. It's 2nd and 10. Bedore in a shotgun again. Rushing 4 of the Raiders. Bedore going to go down the field, looking for Robinson, who has a step, goes up, cuts it, but it falls incomplete. It was knocked away at the last minute by the Raiders. Well, wow, Robinson had a step, but the ball ended up a little short. Robinson had to turn around and come back, and as he did, Baldwin was there to knock it free.
Yeah, good job on Baldwin to stay with him like that. He could have easily lost sight of the receiver and the ball, stayed in his hip pocket, didn't cause any grabbing his hand, and was there enough to not get the PI, but to disrupt Robinson following the ball down into his hands.
At the height of his leap, he had the football, but then Baldwin got his hand in there to knock it free. Nice job. So Van Nistelrooy, for the first time, will come out and kick it away. Van Nistelrooy will simply just kick it. Good high kick by Van Nistelrooy, fielded by Paisley at his own 32. Paisley avoids one tackler, but not Cord DeLint, who says hello and brings him down at about the 33-yard line. You avoid one guy, but DeLint was right there to bring him down, and the Raiders will start with decent field position from their own 33.
Yeah, and on that punt and coverage, you can see the discipline and the coaching coming out in the Okanagan Sun there. They didn't get out of position. The first heat missed their tackle, but they had enough guys that were swarming and in position to make that tackle.
So the Raiders offense comes back out to work, who had a decent drive their last series, helped out by roughing the passer 15-yard penalty, but still was able to move the football. And then the drive stalled as the defense held. 1:40 to go in the opening quarter. 8-0, Sun with the lead here in this championship game. O'Brien in a shotgun again. They give to Flavel, who goes up the middle. Flavel avoids one tackler, but finally brought down by Lane Hall. But a decent gain there by Flavel, who hustles back to the huddle.
Yeah, and that's all right. You're starting at 2nd and 6, 2nd and probably a long 5, and that's a great position to be against a defense like the Okanagan Sun. It allows them maybe to possibly build on their game plan as opposed to the first couple of series. They haven't been able to get very consistent.
Ball at the 38-yard line. Second and 5, as Jason mentioned. O'Brien, another low snap, back to pass. Here's a man over the middle. Here comes the pressure. It's Machado, and he will be brought down. Well, not entirely brought down. It's Jonas Gearing, pardon me. And it's going to be officially, will it be a sack, even though the quarterback actually didn't get down on his pants? I guess so. No,
well, it still shows like he's trying to throw the ball, and I think that's really what's going to dictate if it's a sack or not. If the quarterback looks like he wants to still throw the ball, I'd be a little worried, though, as a coach for the VI Raiders. The way he's holding that ball out when he's getting that pressure, I'd be really afraid of having it knocked out.
I thought it was a quick whistle, too.
I think it was, too. Yeah, he's a big load. I would give him time to see if he could break those tackles.
So Rodriguez will come out after the quick 2-and-out by the Raiders offense. Ball is kicked away by Rodriguez. Short kick. It's Bridges at the Raider 50. Bridges at the 45, and he'll be stopped there as he's gang tackled, pushed backwards. Lobo leading the charge there. With 5 seconds remaining in the opening quarter, it is 8-0 for the Okanagan Sun. A 25-yard touchdown run by Corey Nagata, and then Thomas Huber missed, a rare miss for Huber from 29 yards out. The ball sailed through the back of the end zone, and that is how the Okanagan Sun have got their points here in this championship game.
And they're winning the field, the battle of the field,
yeah.
Right? They're starting on the Raider side of half right now, and that's something that you don't want to see as this game goes on if you're the Raider defense.
1st and 10. Bedore in a shotgun. Lots of movement there. They give to Nagata. Nagata will go up the middle, and the Raider defense was waiting for it. Dexter Shea waiting for him. And sorry, Jason, also Mason Kelly in on the stop.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say great surge by the front four there. They read that there was a pass, or sorry, a run right away, and just swarmed to him and stopped it.
And that will do it for the first quarter here at the championship game at the Apple Bowl. The Okanagan Sun